Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome into the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, July 20th, and we are actually recording this episode because we are currently at the Husker Road Race.
Yep.
So hopefully when you're listening to this, we haven't died on the 5K.
We're not going, that's not even an option. We'll be fine.
And hopefully I'm not injured.
We'll be walking. You can walk 3 miles.
I don't know if I can, now I just had a birthday. This past Tuesday on the 15th. Now I'm 47. And I don't know. I've heard things just say the older now this was just weird is that I'm pretty sure I'm in my late 40s.
You're definitely in your late 40s.
So
you were in your late 40s last year.
No. You
think 44, 45, 46 is mid 40s?
Yes.
Okay.
I think 40 to 43 is early 40s.
Okay.
44 to 46 is mid. 47 is late.
I think
so. I'm officially in my late 40
to 44 is early. 45 is mid. I mean, technically that is true.
Yeah, but you got
mid is 40. You're only mid 40s for 1 year.
Yeah, but mid has to be more than a year though. Like you're not in your mid 40s for 1 year. Like the middle of because the beginning is 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I get
4,
it.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
So now I'm in my mid 40s.
No,
so
late 40s.
I'm in my late 40s. See, I'm in my late 40s and my mind is slipping.
Oh, gosh. We're in trouble.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. So we are out at the Husker Road Race, hanging out with the players, getting excited for the season. Now we're only 5 weeks away from the start of college football, which is pretty awesome.
Because what time does the race start?
You know what? I don't even know.
Like 8, probably 8:30.
We might even be done by now.
I don't think it's that early, but maybe we'll try to email Harrison some pictures, pre-race pictures with the players, and he can be inserting them right now while we're talking about it in this segment. Oh.
Okay, Nicole.
Move your hand.
You just did your hand gesture. Okay, so now you guys get to look at Nicole, and I am off.
Do it over here.
Nicole she did a cardinal sin.
I did.
She waved her hand and the camera went right on her. So now
I should have known I was going to be the one.
She did not follow
and
the
now
rules.
There's no way you can go behind the thing and figure it out.
I don't know how to do it. So guess what? She broke the rules of the podcasting room here at the Ticket, and now it's just her.
You can just scooch.
I don't think so because there's a little table here. And so this is what happens when somebody doesn't follow directions. Oh, it didn't move. We almost got it.
No, we didn't.
Oh, I thought it moved a little bit.
No.
All right. Well, this is what you get. So you can kind of see me. You can see my hand.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't think I can manually move it, but
you could.
I could. Should I try it?
Go look and see. This is like real life, you guys. Oh, okay. Well, no, you have to do it behind the counter. You have to go back there. This is real life. This is a real life problem solving, what it looks like with Jeff and I, especially if Jeff's the one having to do it. I have no idea what he's looking at. All right. Well, it's my fault. I should have known. I really didn't think that I use my hands that much, but I know that I do actually. So I don't know what else to say. I feel like Garth on Wayne's World. I'm having a good time. That's not the camera. Well, we can just scrap this one and have Harrison fix it and start over. Jeff just called me a name. This is way a long time for us to have these issues, but all right, we'll have to. I am talking. Yes, I am. You don't have the headphones on, so you can't hear me talking, but Jeff just called me a name. No, he called me a goofball. It's not like it was mean or anything. All right. Now you need your microphone. I guess we can sit close to each other for now. We'll have Harrison fix it after the first segment. This is why we need Harrison.
So let the record,
because we're on our own right now.
Let the record show that Nicole did that.
I did.
And messed up the studios.
Okay.
It's my fault. So obviously we're in the podcasting studio here.
It's our first time being here too, so that's
first time. So we just got done back on track now, and hopefully you guys got a little laugh out of that. Back on track. So we just wrapped up week 1 of our 10-week challenge. I mean, we technically haven't wrapped it up yet.
Right. We will have.
We will have wrapped up.
Good news is we have done 48 week ones prior to this as owners, right? This was our 49th 10-week challenge that we just started with our summer 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're still qualified to talk about what happens during week 1, even though it technically hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. What happens during week 1 is a couple things. First of all, everybody gets through the first 5-10 minutes of day 1 and just tired, like thinking, my gosh, this has only been 10 minutes. How am I going to make it 45 minutes? And not only for today, but the next 6. But our classes are designed in a way that are empowering, that can get you through, motivating. You're not just by yourself. Obviously, you have other people there that are struggling with you. And our fit members are really encouraging.
Well, I think that's what's good about the 10 weeks, because, you know, for you and me, we've been doing this for a really long time. And most of the time, probably 99% of our workouts, we're instructing.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are we doing the workout, we're leading the warm up, we're also talking the whole time, like talking through the workout, cueing what's coming next. We are thinking about what is coming next. So there's a lot of like a mental load when it comes to instructing. But I think that I think I probably take for granted how difficult that first week is, or just in general, how difficult it is for people who are starting brand new, because we've been doing it for so long and we're just so adapted to it, that I think that's what's great about the 10-week challenge, because 4 times a year, we basically get to kind of do the 10 weeks through the eyes of our challengers. So when we're doing the workout and we're making it look like that it's easy because we've been doing it for so long, but then you see people struggling in that first 5 minutes. I don't specifically remember struggling through my first kickboxing workout.
Well, it's been so long.
Because it's been so long. Right. Yeah.
And sometimes we forget what it's like to be a beginner.
Yeah. That's why it's nice, because we get to see that every 10 weeks, where we get to see the progression of our members, where they start and they're maybe, uncoordinated, or just you see how people learn, because everyone has their own learning style. Some people learn by watching and copying. Some people learn by like just going 110 miles an hour and maybe not hearing everything, which is always interesting to see. But
some people still do, even after
some people
they've been there for a while.
Yeah. But I think that's what's helped us become better instructors, for one, and just still be able to relate to our newbies when we're not new. We've been doing this for a long time. And like you said, at orientation, our new people are going to be in that workout and they're going to be like, wow, these instructors make it look so easy. How I'm just doing it and I'm struggling. How are they talking and doing the movements and counting down and stuff like that? But we didn't come out of boxes that way. It took a long time. I don't remember my first kickboxing class at Farrell's necessarily. I remember orientation. I remember the mile run that we used to do, the timed mile. But I don't really necessarily remember that first workout, but I definitely remember teaching my first kickboxing class.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I really wish we had like a video of my first kickboxing class, just to see how different my teaching style is now.
Yeah, I I mean, I remember taking your first kickboxing class, but I don't remember really what it was about.
Well, sure. Yeah.
I remember teaching mine. I did some stations class.
You did a stations class for your
I
first
know, it's kind
workout.
of lame, but
That is lame.
I more remember my first strength training class, how I was like teaching with all yellow bands. And I remember being it was a leg class. And I remember being so sore. I had to crawl up the stairs on my hands and knees because
I don't remember that.
my form was just perfect.
Right.
Like my standing leg
You're
extensions,
just more aware.
my knees 90 degrees. I'm just whoop. I mean,
Yeah.
just perfect form. And I hurt so bad. I had
just
to crawl
goes to show
up the
how
stairs.
bad your form was
No,
outside of
it
instructing.
just goes to show, if you're focusing more on your form versus your band color,
Well,
like
sure.
wanting to be the
Especially on
highest
a leg day.
bands in class. Yeah. I mean, you could do a lot of our leg stuff with no bands and still get a good workout. So, but anyway, yeah. So, end of week one, any other things you've noticed
Too much in the
during
middle
week
here.
one? Even though it
I
hasn't happened.
No, I know. But in the 48 sessions we've had before,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is for me, it's the mental struggle that people have for week one, because I don't know if I said this yesterday. I don't think, or yesterday was our orientation. So
You know what you didn't say at orientation? You're not special.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is I have that I have it clipped out so I can just share it. But I did not say you are not special spiel.
We'll hit that in our live episode today.
Yeah. But no, is how humbling it can be to learn something new.
Especially as adults.
As adults, we just don't learn new things very often as adults. I mean, it's even for you, it's been over a decade since you've had like a first job, right?
It's been longer than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, over.
Like 2006.
Oh, sure. Well,
20 years.
This was a new job when you became a gym owner. That was new. You had to learn how to do things.
Well, that's true. So, but it wasn't really a job where I was going to work for somebody.
Yeah, I know, but you still had to learn how to do stuff.
Yeah, no, my last first job would have been at John Deere
Financial.
And we've kind of talked about how I was like in charge of the fax machine.
Yeah.
And I was like, just came home in tears because everybody was just mad at me because I'm handing them work to do, and the older ladies there it was just a disaster. So I kind of, when people start with us, I always say it's kind of like you're starting a new job.
It is.
Where you're just like, okay, I need 100. I know we don't like copy machines might be a thing of the past, like I always think like, I need copies of these. And you're like, well, I don't even know where it is.
Well, I don't know where it is. I don't know how to use it. What if the paper's out?
Yeah, you go in this giant copy machine that's just the size of a desk now.
Yeah.
You're like, where does the paper go? There's 40 different trays.
Well, and that's exactly how week one is, because, and I will even say this when we're instructing, like especially on upper body day, our week one workouts are pretty basic. It's basically a circuit for each muscle group, and we do 3 exercises, 3 sets of 10. So on paper, it looks really simple.
Yep.
And I even think that every time, but then it really does get challenging because we're going slow. We're really emphasizing form. You're not just you're kind of pacing the class a little bit differently than when you are kind of doing your own workout. But in upper body, we start with chest and back first, and then we do shoulders. And so when we get to shoulders, because chest and back are 2 pretty strong muscle groups.
Right,
so it's usually they're more intuitive, like they're movements that your body's used to doing, pushing and pulling with the push-ups and like rows and stuff. But then I'll say, okay, back at chest and back is done. You're probably feeling pretty good about yourself right now. And then we go to lateral raises with a yellow band. And all you're doing is lifting your arm straight up to your shoulder level.
Not waving your arms around.
Right. No, that was with an open palm. This problem was my palm was open.
Oh, okay.
So the up and down with that lateral raise, and it is humbling for people. And so that's how strength training and also kickboxing is, because it's like you may feel like you just got, okay, we just did jab, cross, jab in the warm up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, well, Now we're going to add a knee strike to that. And it's like you're back to the drawing board. Like you're just, like you said, it's like you feel like you just got one thing down and they're like, okay, now go do this. And you're like, wait, I just figured out this one thing while you're adding more things. And that can be so hard mentally for adults.
Yeah, I always say with the upper body, it's all fun and games till we get to shoulders
and triceps,
because you're just shoulders and triceps are our weakest muscles, so
they're not really weak necessarily. They're just not.
They're not utilized.
We
as
don't
much.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're like
functional.
Unless you're like a mover, you do construction. You're always lifting things and carrying things, stuff like that.
And they're just smaller muscle groups versus chest and back, so they just fatigue faster. Those muscles fatigue faster.
But you can get some good definition.
Oh, sure.
In your shoulders.
My triceps are the one thing. I wish I could grow less triceps and more biceps. I cannot get my biceps to grow.
You got to go lighter on the triceps.
I've been trying to do that, but it's hard to remember to do that. Yeah, I've been trying to undertrain triceps a little bit and then really hit biceps hard, but it's hard because I forget.
Well, I've had my arm, and I tell this when I'm measuring people like 5 and 10 weeks, like my arm measurement has literally been the exact same for 17 years.
Right. It is really hard to grow arm muscles.
Well, and
the composition has changed.
Yeah, and I like, when I talk to like Des Moines Adams, I'm like, my arm's never gonna look like his, right? Because I'm
genetically you're like more of the long and lean.
Right. I have like
type.
little tiny wrists. Like I'm just not gonna have big.
You should compare your wrists to Des Moines.
Not gonna have big forearms and.
Yeah, he's just a bulkier person in general.
Right. So it's like, so my arm hasn't changed all that much, but it looks different.
Yeah.
Where when I first started, there was no muscle definition at all. Now it's like, oh, when I flex, like, man, you could see every muscle in there. I got a long tricep, bicep, so they look different, but they're the same. So when people are like, oh, I didn't lose any inches or gain, like, well, mine's been the same.
Yeah, arm measurements are really hard to change, but composition you can change pretty easily. You can build muscle, lose body fat, but then it ends up being a net same on.
And I'd rather have my arms look good.
Well, sure, yeah.
Than be, like
nobody knows what their arm measurement is. Like if you just asked 100 people right now, how big is your bicep?
They'd say
nobody knows.
They'd say 24-inch pythons. Like Hulk Hogan.
I think only Hulk Hogan can say that.
I always tell people to flex like they're Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I've never measured a 24-inch bicep.
Well,
and I've measured a lot of people.
Dan Beckman, what's his? Do you remember? Well, I don't even know.
24 inches.
We don't even know if he started or not. So if he started and he's listening, he'll think it's funny.
Yeah.
He's supposed to start.
We'll see.
Monday, July 14th.
Yep.
Which would be
tomorrow.
I feel like, I feel like we're on Back to the Future.
I feel like we're on a cooking show where they're like
to go forward.
The magic of television and the food is done already.
Right.
That's how we feel because week 1 is done already. So like magically week 1 is done. That's how I feel about it.
Coming up
we're going to keep talking about it though, because it's like an elephant in the room. Otherwise, I don't want to pretend like we're not recording this ahead of time.
Well, it's just this first segment because usually the first segment we're current events.
No sports this time. Sorry.
I know. We're talking a little sports. We're,
the thing is, if you wanted to talk sports, then you should have signed up for the Nebraska road race. Then you could have been talking to people about sports.
You're right. Had you signed up for the Nebraska road race, like we've been talking about for the last 3 months, you could be in Memorial Stadium right now, getting your picture taken with the players, meeting them, shaking their hands, sizing them up.
So remember this for next year.
Right. So next week on the show, which will be the 27th of July, I'll be giving my little scouting report on what I thought, how I'll size the team up, like what I learned, insight. Sometimes I've talked to players about Tecmo Super Bowl. Like I need to find.
Yeah, it's not going to be hard hitting. They're there to have a good time. You're not going to be talking to them about the season.
Yeah, I'm kind of incognito because they don't really know that I'm just
a journalist.
A journalist on the ticket.
You're not.
So I can walk up to them like I'm just a regular average Jeff. Be like, oh, you guys, what do you think about this? And just ask questions and then I can report.
Yeah, but your questions aren't they're appropriate questions. They're not like, what do you think about? I don't even know what questions you would ask
You mean
about the
I
upcoming
shouldn't?
season.
You know what? I shouldn't go up to Dylan and say, Dylan, you promised me we were going to beat Iowa.
No,
You told that kid.
he didn't promise.
You said that kid told the kid in the Iowa shirt that we're going to get you this year.
Oh, he meant it. I know he did.
He did. And if we would have caught that pass, Nayor would have caught the pass, we would have beat him.
Right.
But he dropped it and we lost.
What
which
else
is
is
the
he
story
supposed
of
to
our
say?
life?
Yeah, no, you're not going to be calling him out on that. It's going to be fun.
I might.
No, you won't.
Well,
There you
okay.
go.
So we have a couple more minutes before the end of this segment. So give you guys, I mean, we do actually have a plan today. We are going to, so last week on the show, we talked about, we're going through our 10 weeks of tenants, right? Is what it's called?
Sure.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. Yeah,
Tenants?
I think so.
Okay. So
Just
week
the
one.
focus, the weekly focus.
Right. What we want to focus on every week. So week one, which what we did last week, even though we haven't done it yet, but we're going to do it in about 2 hours. We talked about goals and goal setting, and I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be talking about, but
I am.
yeah. So Nicole has the plan, but we're going to be, it's about not setting such giant goals,
Right.
but smaller goals.
Yep. And
Giving yourself wins,
just
right?
so you know, Jeff, a little preview for you
Oh, so you're giving me a preview
for what we're going to talk
this
about.
is July 20th. You're giving me a preview for what we're going to talk about on July 13th.
Oh.
Like we're going back in the past.
Yeah, because not only are we recording this podcast, we're recording it before the 13th show. So
Yep.
we're recording this very first.
So we're kind of going backwards. We're recording week 2 first, then we're going to do week 1 live. So,
Yeah.
But we're very multi-talented,
Right.
And we can handle it. So we got a few
Except
minutes.
me and my hand gestures just messing up the thing right away. But no, so what we're going to talk about goals. And, we do talk about how we aren't super fans of motivation as a tool for success, but there is some things that you need to know about yourself, about how you're motivated. Are you intrinsically motivated? Are you extrinsic? I can't say that word, motivated. And
I don't think I've ever even heard that word
you
before.
have, but and how maybe if you're an intrinsically motivated person, but you've been trying to set goals that are not for the way your brain works, then why you might struggle with that. So that's kind of what we'll talk about. So motivation and goals do go hand in hand. And so I think that'll be a good thing to talk about, but it's just like goals are something that you set, and then that's kind of like your destination. Motivation's kind of the other way, the opposite of it. Like the goal is like, or motivation is like starting your car. That's the motivation to start driving, is to start your car, but you only start your car one time and then you drive to where you're going.
Mhm.
So they are kind of related. So we're going to talk about that.
We've already talked about it.
Well, I know, but
So if you missed last week's episode, the point is go back and listen to
Yeah.
July 13th, which is week 1 for goals.
Yeah.
What we're going to talk about coming up after our break here is week 2, which is discipline.
Discipline. Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about on this week's show, is discipline. So they go hand in hand, right?
You guys can't see this, but Jeff is holding up the timer like as if I am the one that keeps us off.
That's right.
Gets us off track
I am.
than
I got
any
her.
other day. I know exactly what time it is. I don't even need your stupid timer.
You do, because you don't know the seconds. And I got the seconds.
Oh, we're going by seconds
Yeah,
now.
because
Good
if you're
to know.
just looking at the clock and it's like 24 minutes, you have no idea when it's going to hit 25 until it just
have
hits
no
25.
idea when it's 25 minutes, and you'll keep talking for 28 minutes if I don't tell you to stop.
Well,
so.
that's because when we're live in the studio, we're it's a little bit more like relaxed environment.
You're
like,
not relaxed
because Harrison can, one segment could be 25 and the next segment could be
All
could be
right.
30 and then 10, right? But here we got to be on script. Perfect timing. That's why I have this here so you can look at it.
I don't need to look at it. You can look at it. It's annoying me, actually.
Who waved their open
I
palm
know,
and
I
messed
know.
up the camera
take
in the
that.
first
I
1
did.
minute of this episode?
You're right. It was 3 minutes
I
in.
could just
Just
scoot,
so you know,
I could
per
just
your
scoot over
timer.
here and nobody will see.
per your timer, it
just
was
you.
3 minutes in. But so yeah, we will be talking about discipline and how you can apply, discipline. And it's a mindset, applying that to anything that you're doing. Obviously, now this doesn't all apply to just the 10 weeks, but if you're wanting to look to make some type of change and gosh, you got to get that discipline down early. That's why it's week 2. So
1 week down, 9 weeks go. And hopefully, even if you're not doing the challenge, you're doing something with us. Like we encourage you, let's make a plan, 10 weeks, make a change, whatever you're doing, whatever gym you're going to.
Yeah, because goals that you set, you're going to want to kind of time block those. So you're going to have think about if you're training for a marathon or half marathon, you are going to have weekly training. Please stop showing me that.
Okay,
You're making it go longer because you keep putting that timer in my face. So when you're doing a marathon training plan, you're going to go 10, 12, 18 weeks out from your race day. And then you're going to construct your training plan accordingly. So you can do that when it comes to anything, not just Farrell's 10 weeks, but if you have a specific fitness goal or health goal, the best thing that you can do is chunk that time up. So you can just kind of tick the boxes okay, got through that one, got through this one. So that's why we're using this within the 10 weeks, but it can apply to anything.
All right. Well, with that, stay right with us. We'll be back 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Bros Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. Again, it is Sunday, July 20th, and this episode we are talking all about discipline, which is our week 2 theme. We just wrapped up week 1 of our summer 10-week challenge, getting into week 2 here starting tomorrow. So hopefully our members are listening, or they're going to listen at some point. We kind of really just hammered home at orientation that, you know, we're doing this series and not only for them, but, you know, for everybody kind of out there. We've always teased a little bit. Like, I know when Mark was going through this 3 years ago, we went through each week and then like week 1 and week 2, but it was just like a 5 or 10 minute thing. We never really went in depth to all these subjects. So kind of excited about this series we're doing. And this is going to take you all the way up until September 21st, which we will have our $1,000 winner on with us. So really, really good, fun series. Again, last week we talked about goal setting. This week is going to be discipline. And even though we're recording this, you guys can definitely still message us on like the Facebook app page if you're watching this on Facebook. And once we're done rubbing shoulders with the football players, we'll check that and we'll get back to you. So if you have any questions, please chime in on the streams where we can see them, and we'll get back to you. So, all right, well, let's get into discipline. All right, Nicole, where do we want to start with discipline? You wherever you lead, I'll follow.
Okay.
And I'll chime in with my wisdom.
Sure. Well, I think the biggest thing is with discipline, I think people think that, and you'll notice over the next 10 weeks, there's one, obviously motivation is not one of the weekly goal, like highlights, tenets. Another thing that's not one of our tenets is perfection. And I think that's what's important about discipline, because people think of discipline and you think of like, just like gritting through and being perfect and doing everything exactly right. And that is maybe true for 1% of the population, like John Kelly, but for example, who did the Appalachian Trail, or we haven't really talked about that, but he attempted to do the speed record on the Appalachian Trail. We'll maybe talk about this on a different segment and kind of recap his journey on that. But our past guest, or like David Goggins, for example, who does those ultra marathons and stuff. Those people, discipline means something different than it does for the average Jeff, or for you, example, or for me. So discipline isn't about being perfect. Discipline is it's kind of about continuing even when things get hard, because nobody is going to have a perfect 10 weeks. Like if you kept a journal for 10 weeks and then at the end of that 10 weeks, you went back and read the journal, like you could do this for anything. You could say, okay, I'm going to capture 10 weeks of my life. In 10 weeks, this is what I want what I think is going to happen in the next 10 weeks in my life. And it can have to do with anything. Doesn't have to be fitness or health. It could be like, okay, I have this big project coming up. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then in 3 weeks, football starts and the Huskers are going to win their first 3 games, all this stuff. And then at the end of the 10 weeks, you go back and look at what you thought was going to happen in that 10 weeks versus reading through of what actually happened. 99 out of 100 times it's not going to be anything like what you thought it was going to be, right?
I mean, really nothing is.
No, never, because when you're looking ahead, you're thinking best case scenario all the time.
Well, sometimes you think worst case scenario.
Well,
like me with the 4th of July.
You think worst case
A lot
scenario.
of people are like
but
that.
when you're setting goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're not going to set a goal to fail. Like,
right.
You're not going to set like, okay, it's week 2, this challenge, and my goal is my only going
to miss 3 days.
Yep, that's not what we're doing.
No,
because when we're writing our goals, we're actually motivated. At the time
we're writing our goals based on best case scenario,
right?
Which is great, but life is not best case scenario. Life is just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where having the discipline to stick with your goals, keeping that end in mind, and like I say all the time, zooming out. So the biggest thing is nutrition with the discipline. I don't know. I know that exercise and discipline is hard for a lot of people. It's hard for us to talk about it because it's such an ingrained part of our lives.
Well, and to us, like going to class and working out is the easy part.
Well, yeah, because it's literally our job.
Well, not only that, but even like for example, there was the class a couple weeks ago that on a Saturday morning that it was just, well, actually I had 2 classes like this. Between challenges is when our members are like,
well, and it's just 4th of July.
Yeah,
it's summer. People are out of town.
Yeah. So it's just like,
attendance goes down a little bit.
100 degrees out. People,
especially
stay home
on a Saturday morning.
Yeah. So like it was Saturday morning and we had one person at the 5 a.m. class and it was Barb. And I was telling her, I was actually thanking her for coming in because, I don't know if this goes with, it's somewhat self-discipline, but like if it would have just been me at the gym by myself at 5 a.m., there's no way I would have stood up front and did the workout all alone.
No.
I would have just went to the computer. I had work to do because we were getting ready to start the challenge.
There's always something else to do. You could have justified not doing it.
And, in my mindset, I was ready to work out at 5. And I just would have been like, you know what? I'm not going to work out at 6. Like, I just wouldn't have worked out for the day.
Right.
So Barb was there. She's like, oh my gosh, am I the only one? I was like, yeah, but it's strength training. So I don't care if there's one person or 50. It doesn't really matter to me. But I need one person or I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so Barb and I worked out together. And I always joke, like, when we have a member that's just one-on-one, I'm like, personal training is about $100 an hour.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just going to add this to your monthly bill and, call it
a
day.
But. So I don't want to discount how much discipline is required for, to get your workouts in. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that at the top of the hour. Maybe some tips to help you stay disciplined when it comes to your exercise. But I think for most people, it's food, staying disciplined when it comes to food. That's the hardest thing. That's definitely our hardest, the hardest part for us because you have to eat. It's not like quitting smoking. It's not like giving up alcohol. It's not like, changing these habits that, are keeping you from your goals. Like you have to eat food to live. And if you're not disciplined enough to meal prep, if you're not disciplined enough to eat the food that you've meal prepped, if you're not disciplined enough to say no to, those temptations that come up that, you don't have to say no to every single thing, but you don't have to say no to every single cupcake that comes your way. You don't have to say no to every single indulgence, whatever, but you also shouldn't say yes to everything too, if you have a specific goal as far as like weight loss is concerned. And that definitely takes discipline, right?
Yep.
What do you think is harder though? Because I enjoy working out. So where if it were just me and nobody showed up for a class, I would still work out during that time. Because I enjoy working out. I don't think you enjoy it as much as I do. You enjoy instructing. You enjoy teaching. This is where
No, I enjoy working
going
out.
off of last week's. You're extrinsically motivated when it comes to exercise, and I'm intrinsically motivated when it comes to exercise. I do it for myself because I like it. You are very much more about the group aspect, the outside influences.
Yeah,
whether
I'm teaching or I'm working out
Sure.
with everybody. That's like, because I am like, and we've talked about this before about, running just by yourself. And so like at orientation, we got
That's a great example
do
because you're a terrible trainer. You train terribly for races. You still do them. You're committed, but you're pretty bad at staying disciplined. I mean, how many 3-week training plans have you done for half marathons? Many.
Maybe 4 weeks.
4 weeks out from race day, you go out and run 8 miles. And then 3 weeks you run 9. And then you get a 10-miler in, and then 2 weeks later you do the half marathon.
That's just because I've done full marathons. So in my mind, a half marathon just is like not a huge deal to me.
Whatever.
Because I've done full marathons.
Also, it's important because I think this is something that we do when it comes to self-sabotage. If you don't stay super disciplined and you don't stick to your training schedule and then you fail, that's not your fault. It's just because it's not the same as if you tried really, really hard and then
failed,
and then you struggled and failed.
And I think part of us, maybe we don't want to try as hard because of that fear
100%.
of failure. So it's like
100%.
Even in our 10 weeks, like if your goal is to win $1,000, and we've seen this so many times where you'll get to, you start off and you got your goals and you have your discipline and you're disciplined for 5 weeks or 6 weeks. And then it's like week 7, 8, get here and you've done so well. Like I can't tell you how many times we've had people that have had such great results at week 5 and they don't finish the challenge.
Yep.
It's like almost subconsciously you're like, well, what if I don't win?
100%.
And I put all this effort in, even though it's like in a sporting event, yes, it's winning and losing.
Right. When
it comes to Nebraska football, it's winning and losing.
But it's not always.
But
for that, it's not always, because all season long, not college football so much, but definitely NFL for you. All season, you're adjusting your goals. You're like, okay, we lost that game, but if we win the next so many games, we can still be in this for a while. So you know what I'm saying?
Here's the difference. In the NFL, you can lose 7 games and still make the playoffs.
Yeah, and you know that going in.
Yeah, in college football, now we have.
Oh, I know. I just said that. It's not the same.
Yeah, in college football, now you can lose twice at a max right now.
Yeah.
So where before, like, in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, it was just like one game and your season was over. That's what it used to be like. And that's why I love college football so much more than the NFL, was because of that kind of life and death mentality, where it's like, gosh, I was just listening to Steve Taylor on his show, and he was talking about going out to UCLA, and it was just like, they lost early, and he was just like, you lose early in the season and you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's versus today, which I kind of don't really like that about college football, because, you look at some of these huge, like, take, for example, Ohio State plays Texas. Opening game, big noon, first Saturday of the year. And you're like, this is a massive game, right? Where 10 years ago, you're almost like the loser is basically out.
Right.
Now you watch it and it's like, it's not that detrimental.
Okay, we switched into sport
mode. No.
That's
I'm
okay as long as you tie it back in. I was comparing. You're veering into Jeff.
No.
Sports mode.
No, I'm just comparing where we're talking about, in sports, winning and losing. Where in the Pharaohs, when you're talking about your health, it's not about winning or losing $1,000. But I think people, they're going to try as hard as they can. And if they don't win the challenge, they're going to be disappointed, when in reality, they've really changed their life.
And the other thing, in reality.
See, tied it all back.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. No, it's no open palm.
I did a little whoop, whoop, whoop.
In reality, too, a lot of times people who maybe think like, oh, I'm not going to win. That wasn't even a goal of theirs at the beginning too. So yeah, not winning the $1,000 in the Farrell's 10-week challenge isn't a failure. That's something only one person's going to get. So it's not a failure at all. And so, yeah, that sometimes can be hard, and it does lead to self-sabotage. That's why week 2, redefining what discipline means. It doesn't mean perfection. Discipline means getting back on track if you fall off, or readjusting your goals as you go. And I think that's something that people don't think of when they think of discipline. When they think of discipline, you think of militant and like do it no matter what. And
or you think back to when you're a kid and your parents are
you're getting in trouble. You're getting disciplined.
That belt's coming out.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I think about.
Yeah. When you hear discipline. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're getting the backhanded smack upside your head from your parents.
That's true.
I mean, not really now, but back when I was growing up.
Back in our day,
because I'm in my late 40s now. Back in our day that was discipline. Like
that's true.
It was almost like
it's a punishment.
You don't want to be disciplined.
Right. That's true.
So there's two different ways to look at it. And we'll kind of get into that more here at the top of the hour. But I just like literally put that together in my head. Those two comparisons.
Deep.
I know, right?
That is deep. And that's, something to talk about though, because discipline does not mean punishment.
Right. All right. Well, we are going to go to break. We'll be right back with a short segment coming up here to finish up hour number 1. So stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Make bill paying a breeze with Text to Pay. LES texts you 1 week before your bill's due date. Just reply to the text to pay. It's that easy. Log into your account at les.com to sign up today.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. We just have a short segment here to finish up hour number one. So kind of at the end of the last segment, we
Jeff
just,
literally a light bulb went off over his head.
Well, we just stumbled. We're talking about discipline this week, and growing up as a kid, discipline was a bad thing, right? So, I mean, some of the stupid things that I did, we talked about how I called in for work and was about ready to be fired, and I wasn't going to be able to do this. Or we've all done dumb things as kids, like our daughter lied about her backpack and
her
lunchbox. She said it was stolen by a kid on the bus, and Nicole's like, I'm going to call the bus barn, and then she confessed, and then she didn't get to go trick-or-treating with her cousins
because she forgot it. She left it on there, and she lied about it, so she got punished because
the cover-up is always worse than the crime.
It really is.
Right?
That's 100% why. That would not have been her. That's not how I would have disciplined her had she just been like, I forgot my lunchbox.
Right. So that's what we look at as we're growing up. We're looking at discipline. And even as we get into being parents, we're disciplining our children. We're getting disciplined as children ourselves.
And I kind of looked it up, like the difference between discipline as punishment and discipline as a tool for success. And they're told that, that's the thing that everybody loves and hates about the English language. Like there's multiple definitions for the same word, basically. So discipline as a punishment is a reaction to wrongdoing or a failure to follow rules, often involving consequences like penalties, restrictions, or corrections. And that is, not being disciplined does have consequences, but when you're a kid, it's a negative consequence. Like, you get a punishment.
Get your butt spanked.
Yeah.
With the belt, but I did
one time, right?
It was a couple times. It wasn't like my older siblings, but
this was the 80s.
I kind of lucked out. I was kind of lucky on that front.
Mine was the wooden.
I think everybody's still kind of a little like, oh, Jeff's the little baby. But
maybe you just weren't as naughty.
No, I was, but my dad really changed.
I know. I'm just kidding.
He changed over the years and stuff, so I was the beneficiary of that. But anyway,
so the difference, the purpose of that is obedience, basically. And luckily, we've evolved over the last 45 years in a lot of our parenting styles. And so a lot of people don't. Discipline means something different now than it did when we were kids. Punishment is different. We've lucked out because our kids are good. So they never really got too many punishments. But anyway, the purpose was to control a behavior or enforce obedience. But we're adults now. So discipline can mean something different now.
Well, that could be controlled behavior.
Well, it is
positive,
but not like, closed fist control, because discipline as a tool for success is the practice of consistently choosing behaviors that align with your long-term goals. That is the new definition. We're all grown adults now.
Mm-hmm.
That is our definition of discipline.
What a contrast.
Huge.
When you think about just like, if I screwed up, I'm going to get, even
It's
discipline now.
Consistently choosing behaviors that align with your long-term goals.
And when we were kids, it was our bad behaviors.
You do this.
Led to the discipline.
Yes. You're in trouble. You should be scared. Now this should be empowering.
Yeah.
Discipline
absolutely.
should be empowering.
Absolutely.
Because it builds habits, character, it builds confidence. So there's a lot. So like examples of discipline when we were kids was losing screen time would be a better one now, or being benched, an athlete being benched or suspended, whatever.
Yep, getting suspended.
Now, an example would be consistently waking up early to get your workouts in, or eating that food that you meal prepped or meal planned.
Mm-hmm.
That's using discipline. Or, just showing up for your workouts. Maybe it's not an early morning workout, but like setting yourself up for success through your discipline.
Yep. All right. Well, so top of the hour, we're going to dive in. Got some.
Hold on 1 second, because I just saw another little clip about this that says, then this is how we'll end this segment, because it says the key insight is that punishment-based discipline controls behavior, but success-based discipline empowers growth. So we want to focus on success-based discipline to empower your growth, instead of thinking of it like a punishment, like, I ate this terrible meal last night. I have got to get up and get to the gym and do an extra workout to work off this food. That's the control behavior, versus empowering yourself to be like, I overindulged a little too much. I'm just going to get back on my workout tomorrow, and I'm going to get back on my nutrition.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take our final break of the first hour. So stay with us. Top of hour 2 coming up. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Bros Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
Welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, July 20th. This is hour number 2 of our show today. Hour 2 is sponsored, as always, by Modern Woodmen of America. Founded in 1883, Modern Woodmen offers financial services and member benefits to individuals and families throughout the U.S. For more information, please call Sean Erickson at 402-483-6515. Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures. So big shout out to Sean and the crew over at Modern Woodmen. We appreciate everything they do for our show, helping us deliver you guys very important information on health and wellness and ongoing activities and sports for the week. So we appreciate them, and also what they do for us on our personal side, taking care of us for life insurance and stuff like that. So any needs, they are available to help you out, just like they've helped us. And again, Sean Erickson, 483-6515. All right, Nicole, let's get into we're talking about discipline. Week 1, we talked about goal setting, and gave you tips and not tricks, but tips.
Tips and tricks. That reminds me of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah,
Tips
tricks on how to
set goals.
Yeah. Okay. Tips on how to set goals. So now we're focusing on discipline.
Yes.
So here's the little truth about discipline. We all think about motivation. Motivation is what to get you started, but it's discipline that keeps you going. It gets you out of bed for your workouts. It's what helps you meal prep on Sunday. That's discipline. Because I'll tell you what, nobody's motivated to meal prep.
No.
Even you, like I know, like you make breakfast sandwiches. So you spend an hour and a half just making.
It's because I have to do it a specific way for my own brain.
Yeah.
There's faster ways I could do it,
But
so it
still,
doesn't have
like,
to take that
you're
long.
still
I
doing
choose
it.
to take that long to have it done a certain way.
Yeah.
But yes.
You're still doing it. So you're
Yeah.
spending time. It's just like, okay, you don't get that instant gratification when you spend 90 minutes making all these breakfast sandwiches.
No,
It's
not
like,
instant.
Yeah. So then it's just like, okay, now I'm ready, but I spent 90 minutes doing this. So,
Yeah.
you're not motivated to do it, but you're disciplined because you know that if I don't have these prepared in the morning, I might make a bad decision.
Or not even a bad decision for myself. But like if I don't have a good breakfast, like even this morning when we were getting ready to leave, I just know myself. And like you had just a pretty big protein shake before we left this morning, right? You had I'm assuming you didn't do your cottage cheese.
Nope, no cottage cheese.
It was just your scoop of protein and your collagen protein.
Yep, I kind of mix them together.
Yeah. So you had 50 grams of protein within 20 seconds this morning. Yeah.
I know some people are out there like, oh, that's way too much.
It's not, especially because those 2 types of proteins. Your body's going to break those down separately and differently. So you're fine when it comes to that. You can do that. Like you could be like, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next week. So I'm just going to drink protein shakes all week long. You can do that. I cannot. So like I did have a protein shake too when I got up this morning. It's part of our routine. We do it every single morning. That's when I do some of my supplements that I take, like creatine in that protein shake. So I have a protein shake every morning too. I just did collagen protein in mine. So I'm like, we're 15 minutes from leaving to come here to record this episode and then to do this week's show. And I'm like, well, I definitely am not going to be able to run on just that. So I had my prepped breakfast sandwich ingredients.
Yep.
And so I asked you, I was like, do you want me to make you one? And you were like, no, I just had 50 grams of protein. And I was like, I cannot do that. My body needs like real food right away. If I just did a protein shake, even if I had added the whey protein and did 50 grams of protein like you, that doesn't register in my brain as a meal. And so I will be just as hungry, in 2 hours when we get to start to do our show, the live show today, if I had eaten nothing.
That's just why everybody's different.
Right. And
right?
Yes.
Results are different. The speed of your weight loss is different.
Yeah.
The speed of your body fat percent, everything is different with every single person.
Right. So that's why for me, it's super important that I have something already prepared that I know that I'm going to eat for my breakfast all week long. Because I know that first meal for me sets the tone for the rest of the day. And so if I skip out on that and don't eat anything, I have my protein shake in the morning at 3:15, 3:20 in the morning when we wake up. If I don't leave the house with something to eat, and then I don't come back to the house until 10, when I get home at 10, that's when I'm going to make a bad choice. That's when I'm going to get into like the Doritos that we have in the house or something. And I'm just going to eat those while I'm figuring out what I'm going to eat for my meal.
When Ben's out of the house, there will be no more Doritos.
I know. The problem is we have an 18-year-old in the house that
one of his food groups
is a consumer of some of these products.
But
we
see,
won't have.
Here's the thing though, like I could discipline myself not to eat them. Like I don't have to.
No, I know,
eat them.
and I don't either, and I do a better job of that than you do, I think sometimes. But I know that the odds of that happening is going to be much lower if I prep a breakfast. You are different in the sense that you need to have a protein prepped for your lunch. Right?
Yeah. What do you mean? Like the chicken?
Yes.
Or...
Yeah. So you do better. You can just drink your protein shake in the morning, and at some point you're going to come home and drink your cottage cheese concoction.
Yep.
And then, but at lunchtime, if you don't have protein prepped for your little protein bowl that you make, you're probably not going to have that for your lunch. If you don't have rotisserie chicken, if we don't have some type of ground turkey, ground beef.
Well, I can make like my little steakies, or like if I have salmon there, I can cook protein.
Yeah, but you have to plan on that.
I have to have it ahead of time,
right?
At least in the house.
Yeah, I'm much more at lunchtime, much more flexible.
You just whip stuff together.
Yeah, I'm a lot more flexible when it comes to my lunch. You're much more flexible when it comes to your mornings.
Right. That's how we're different.
That's why it's important to know what works for you.
Mm-hmm. So back to that, so we talked about the meal prep. You know, discipline's also what pushes you through those moments in class where you're just like, I don't have anything left to give, right? One of my biggest pet peeves in class is when somebody gets a drink of water with 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes. Mine is
under 2 minutes.
We're on the bag. This just happened on Friday, but in their defense, it was one of our kids that are doing the program, so I didn't give him a hard time.
Okay.
I know. So I did not call him out, and I wouldn't call anybody out anyway, but we were doing a set on the bag, and it was a very like structured bag set, and there was 30 seconds left in the bag set, and then we were going to have 2 minutes off the bag. Extremely consistent.
Yeah,
like
get
that
a drink,
is exactly what
get, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. And it was John, and he, like I said, okay, last 30 seconds, and he gets a drink.
Well, that's because his dad's done that before.
I know. I'd already given his dad a hard time
Right.
jokingly at one point in class, but that was just kidding. But yeah, that last 30 seconds where you want a drink, but you know you only have 30 seconds left. Discipline yourself to wait 30 seconds for a drink.
And those 30 seconds are when you make so much progress and so many gains in your endurance. Like when you're
confidence.
When you think you just can't do it, and people are like, oh, you can do anything for 30. Well, you can't really. Like there's things I can't do for 30 seconds.
Yeah, at some point you can't say that.
But you know, we kind of know as instructors and where we're at in the challenge as far as like we know what you can do for 30. I mean, you can hold a plank for 10 more seconds, right?
Especially if it's a 30-second plank.
Right. Come on. We got it.
Yeah.
But you know, so that's where discipline comes in. And it's just it's one of those things that
but there is a difference, because yes, if you're truly failing, if you truly hit muscle failure and you can't do it, you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. But if you knew you had it left in you and you just didn't want to do it, there's a difference.
Right.
And I think that sometimes that's where I've talked about this many times before about how we are really hard on ourselves about the things we can't control, and we're easy on ourselves about the things we can control. I have a bad back. So planking for me, sometimes I feel it in my back more than anything at a certain point. And so sometimes I maybe shouldn't go for 10 more seconds, because 20 seconds ago, my back was telling me your form is suffering and I am paying the price for it. So if I stop 10 seconds early, it's because I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And I should not be hard on myself for that. But sometimes I do a plank and I'm like, wow, I feel really strong in this plank. I could definitely go for 10 more seconds. If I quit with 10 seconds left, because last time I quit with 10 seconds left because I physically couldn't do it anymore, huge difference between those two scenarios.
Right.
One was discipline. There's no reason why I couldn't. But then I could be easy on myself in that scenario and be like, well, that's what I did last week.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's when I should be hard on myself. When I can do it and I don't is when I should really reflect on, why did you quit when you knew you could keep going?
Right. So, you know, those are a few things within our program. But, you know, like we talked about earlier, discipline isn't about being perfect.
No.
It's about showing up when you're not feeling 100%. It's about choosing long-term wins over short-term
It's
excuses.
just so hard. We know it's hard. We're not going to be sitting here telling you there's no reason this is so easy. And like, we know that it's hard.
Because it's like interesting because when we're working out and eating healthy, it is about long-term success. When we're so built on quick gratifications, like that's why when we go eat something like ice cream or something that you get the instant gratification of feeling good, which raises your I'm not all technical for
dopamine.
Yeah. So, but that's why we like the excitement of that stuff.
Right.
But
you know what? There's other ways to spike dopamine. Staying consistent gives you a dopamine spike hit to your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can get a dopamine hit. Not that you feel it. Not everyone's like, oh, that's dopamine.
Right.
But
right.
like, I can feel just as excited and happy because I ate that breakfast sandwich. The breakfast sandwich isn't what's making me happy. It's just
it's the fact that you were disciplined enough to make a good choice.
I made this 3 days ago, and I'm eating it now because 3 days ago me said you are going to be the person that eats this food that's meal prepped. That can give you just as much gratification as that short, and that's longer term gratification. That's gratification that's going to build on itself versus the short term gratification of eating a candy bar or having ice cream just because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you make that mindset shift, it makes a big difference.
Yep. So that's and it's about when you mess up, we're all going to mess up. You just jump back in, right? You don't just want to give up and quit, which I mean, we see a lot, and a lot of you listening, you've probably experienced that where you started something and you're like, oh, this is just too hard. And you know, you signed up for a race or a run and you're just like, and we quit, so we're at orientation, we're talking about, not a lot, but 25 to 30% of the people that start the 10-week challenge don't finish the 10-week challenge because it's hard.
Yeah. And I mean, if you think about
mentally,
like if you think about that versus New Year's resolutions, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. No, it is good because 90% of people don't make their New Year's resolutions because a lot of times, and this comes back with goal setting, there's not a time frame, right? So we're just focusing on, let's do something for 10 weeks. That's it. Not the rest of your life, not just I'm going to do this, and you don't have any type of end time goal on there. So it is a little different.
The goal should be to do it until it becomes a habit. Like,
yep.
Period.
And I know
10 weeks is plenty of time to make a lot of good habit changes.
They are, but it's even harder to keep it going.
Well, it is.
So
it is. But like, it's and you don't have, the thing is, we are so all or nothing. And I think that is definitely not a part of discipline. It can be. You can think that can be a toxic mentality of discipline, that you have to be all in or all out. But, if you can make progress in, say that there's like, I don't know, with our program, nutrition, coming to class, and with like weight loss, muscle gain, inches lost. So maybe there's 5 things that you could have goals around. And if you meet 3 out of those 5 goals, if you meet 2 out of those 5 goals in 10 weeks, then that doesn't mean you failed. That just means you have 3 things that you can continue to work on until you get it down. But we don't think that way because we like to self-sabotage and think negatively about ourselves.
So we're trying to break that mold.
I know.
Over the next 10 weeks.
Yes.
So each week during the 10-week challenge, there's going to be something that's different. Week 1, you're going to be excited.
Always.
This challenge over the summer, week 6 gets here and school starts. So if you have little ones that are home for the summer, you're in your summer routine. Now school starts. Now everything's different. You got to get little Johnny or Susie up. You got to drive them to school. Now you got the stress, and we all know the stress and the anxiety of school drop off and school pickup.
That's when you need kickboxing more than any time, I think.
Right. So there's always stuff that goes on. People might laugh at this, but football season's starting. And what does that mean in Nebraska? People drink during football games, right? Where you could go the summer and be like, okay, I'm not going to drink any alcohol for 10 weeks. Well, then August 28th rolls around. We're watching Nebraska, Cincinnati, and we throw a pick six. What do we want to do? We want to go get a shot. We want to do something to ease the pain, right?
You've learned that's a bad idea.
Well, I know, but that stuff happens, so that's kind of where knowing what's going to be coming up. But there's just different things
or
that
just
happen.
Staying disciplined and telling yourself like, this is not going to help me reach my goals.
Right. So it's one of those, there's a few different things. Like you can ask yourself, did I make time for my workouts or did I let the day decide for me?
Yeah. And I think that's a big one because we think that once you sign up for something, once you set a goal, that everything's magically going to open up on your timeline and it's just going to all fit into place. But it's not like laying bricks. It's like Tetris.
That's a great analogy because laying bricks, your pattern.
Yeah. Right.
And you go to the next one.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
So,
you're not just adding another layer to your bricks. You are playing Tetris and you're adding like the one piece that never fits anywhere.
Yeah, because here come the bricks that are dropping in Tetris are like your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So I've talked to some of our members that do go to the morning and why they do morning workouts. Not necessarily want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 to come and do a 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. class, but because if they don't get to class in the morning, especially if you have kids and sports and job, guess what's coming at you all day? Tetris bricks.
Yep.
And you need a square and a long piece comes out.
Yep. Right.
Or you
At
need
the
an
end
L
of the day.
and a T comes out.
Yep.
And so, a lot of times we'll see
that could be the one thing that just clicks in the wrong spot and game over.
Right. And all day, if you miss your morning workout, you are talking yourself out of coming to the gym. Well, if I missed it, it's fine. I'll be back tomorrow. So, really, it's all about, I kind of look at it as those old scales where you got the coins. Like if you think back to like the Goonies, right? And they have the little scales, right? So throughout the 10 weeks or really throughout, any just day, you just pick one day. It's about putting more coins on the positive side versus the negative side. And even if it's a 65-35 positive outcome, that is a win for the day, right? So how do you get the positive outcomes for your win for the day? Well, you go to class, you work out, you hit your macros, you get excited about a meal. Like you take one meal at a time. All right, I'm going to be disciplined enough to have a good breakfast to start my day. And if I do that, I know, maybe I'll slip up a little bit the rest of the day, but I'm stacking wins early. So if I stack negatives later, the positives still outweigh the negatives.
Well, that's kind of true too. You need that sometimes.
Right.
For sure. I agree.
So again, are you making time for your workouts or do you just let the day decide when you're going to work out? Are you fueling your body with purpose and intention or just with impulses?
Oh, yeah.
That is where, and I'm not a huge, I can't say huge. I am not a meal prepper at all.
No.
But what I will do is I will plan out my day because I kind of eat the same things, so when I'm eating my lunch, that's where I kind of mix things up. But so I'll go in and enter like, okay, this is what I'm going to have at 3. So what can I have at noon? Can I have a 800 calorie lunch? Can I have a little bit more higher fat? Can I have steak versus chicken based on what I'm going to eat? So I kind of plan out for the rest of the day so I know I hit my macros. So then I don't have to think like we're home for the most part, I'm home during lunchtime. So that's when I can have my sit down meal and have something different if I want versus, when I get home from the gym at 7 o'clock, I don't really want to have a meal. So I'm eating lighter in the evening. That's just kind of how our schedules work out. So, you
have to know that we're not going to sit here and tell everyone you need to eat exactly how we do because not everybody gets up at 3:10 every morning and not everyone goes to bed by 7:30, 8:30. So yeah, and someone who wakes up at 8 a.m. is going to have a very different schedule than us. Basically, I've already had probably 2 meals by the time that person gets up.
Sometimes 3. Like I'll eat at 3, and then if I work out at 4, I'll come home and have another. I'll have my second, quote unquote. I mean, it's not really a sit down meal, but I'll have my, post recovery meal, which is my cottage cheese and applesauce, and then some recovery supplement that I get from Nutrition Authority, and that's my second one. Then when I come home at 7:30 or 8, I'll have 4
breakfast.
Eggs.
Yeah, like
so
your real breakfast.
Yeah, I can hit 1,000 calories by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
and
because that's because you're going to eat less as the day goes for our schedule.
Right. So there's some times where I'm just like, I'm already at 3 and I'm at 2,000 calories, and I'm like, I can't eat the rest of the day because I'm already there.
Yeah.
But then we talk to people, it's like, I just can't get, all I can eat is 800 calories. Well, just because you're not, the times that you can sit down and eat at home, that's when you need to have your bigger meals if you can to fit into your macros.
Mm-hmm.
So another one that we'll hit on when we get back, and this is one, these 3 things are like, we talked about how to be successful at Farrell's, or really anything. One was showing up to class, which ties into the first one of, did I make time for my workouts? Number 2, are you food logging? Are you following the nutrition plan? That's number 2 on how to be successful.
And you don't even need to food log. It's just like intentionally eating.
Yeah, I like having people food log though.
No, I know. But
when at least for 5 weeks, because if they get on the scale and they're like, well, nothing's changing, I don't see any changes, and we're like, okay, well, what are you eating? They don't really know what they're eating.
Yeah.
So it's like, we don't know because sometimes the Farrell's meal plan maybe doesn't work for everybody. Like, it's not the end all be all of nutrition plans.
No, some people need to change up their macro ratios.
Right. But if there's
a lot of reasons why maybe lower carb is better for certain people than the 40% carbs. We don't necessarily do high carb, but it's definitely moderate carbs. And there's some people that would do better on a little bit of a lower carb. So if you don't do it, we don't know.
We don't know how to
within the framework
you.
of our program.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for somebody that's just kind of following along in the next 10 weeks, eating intentionally, trying to get 20 to 30 grams of protein with every meal, not just letting, like you said earlier, the day decide for you. And you talked about that within the framework of workouts, but super equally important with your nutrition. You have to have an intention with the food that's in your refrigerator. You have to have an intention with the food that you take with you when you leave the house, or an intention of where you're going to stop for your workout or for your nutrition just as much.
Yeah. And the last one, which I'm just going to briefly read, and then we'll get into this for the next segment, which is is really important too, is, do you lean on the support that you have, or isolate yourself when it gets hard?
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked about one of the number 3 way to be successful with our program is to understand that you're not doing this alone. You have a group of people that are all doing this together, that all want you to succeed. But sometimes we have people that start Farrell's and they just come in and work out and go home, and they don't interact with their teammates. They don't interact with the coaches. And then it's just like, why did you join a group fitness class with our structure when you could have just joined any gym and just worked out on your own? And those are the people that tend to not finish.
Right.
Because when it gets hard,
you don't have that like person you can look at and be like, oh my gosh, that was brutal. I know, but we did it.
Right.
You need to build that.
Yep. So we're going to get to that here in our next segment. So stay with us. 9237 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports, or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Make bill paying a breeze with Text to Pay. LES texts you 1 week before your bill's due date. Just reply to the text to pay. It's that easy. Log into your account at les.com to sign up today.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We've been chatting a little bit about discipline here on this show, which is our week 2 theme at the gym. So we just got into leaning into the support of the group, which is, a big difference between being part of a group challenge and just doing things on your own, because a lot of us, when things get tough, the tough get going or leaving or quitting or whatever, however that goes.
Well, that's the reality of the situation.
Right. And I think more importantly, what we want you guys to do over the 10 weeks, or really any part, is you're not just transforming your body, but you're transforming your mind also.
I think the mind is the biggest component, because that's what's going to keep you going.
It's what's going to keep you going, not all the during the challenge, but after the challenge as well.
You don't need discipline. Your biceps don't need to be disciplined during a bicep curl. It's your mind that's driving that discipline 100%. Like, what happens to your body during a fitness program or training program is 100% controlled by your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, I don't think we talked about this on air, but I saw a tweet of a person that I follow on Twitter about how changes is 40% nutrition, 10% exercise, and 50% mental.
That is very true. Yes.
So without the mental part, you're not going to get the other two.
Because there's so many ways and different things you can do to exercise. But if you're not dialed in to the nutrition, or if you're not disciplined in your exercise, like, for example, obviously I think I started talking about this like in an earlier segment, but then we got sidetracked. But so 2 weeks ago, I kind of had a little bit of an injury to my back, just kind of a tweak to my back. I was having some muscle spasms in my mid back. Normally I work out like every single day, not 110% every single day, but even like on Sundays, I usually try to walk. I usually try to close my Apple, rings every week, and that's just working out 45 minutes a day somehow. So it could be a walk. Sometimes it's kickboxing, it's strength training, but I'm active every single day. But I kind of tweaked my back a couple Sundays ago on a bike ride, and it was pretty bad on Monday and Tuesday. And so I taught kickboxing on Monday, could barely get my heart rate up because I just couldn't without being in pain. So I had to dial back a lot. Still got that 45 minutes of movement in. But when it came to leg day on Tuesday, I couldn't do leg day. And I had to teach 2 classes, which was fine because I was just able to modify a normal workout that I do, but I made it a stations workout. And so I just kind of helped facilitate our members go through the workout without leading it. But that was like the first time I've missed a leg day in years. Like 3 years ago, I hurt my back.
Doing it.
Right.
Instead of just teaching.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I hurt my back. You had taken me off the schedule for lower body for a couple weeks as I was healing a lower back injury. And so that was the last time I probably really just did not do a leg day. And it's better now. It definitely got better throughout the week. And I went to see Dr. Adam at Spine and Sports, and it's better now. It was just a temporary kind of injury. And so Saturday I taught combo strength training, upper body and lower bodies. We usually do. And when we got into that lower body set, it was so much harder just having missed one workout, one leg day workout, because that's what I'm used to. But we know this because we see it all the time, but I can't stress enough how much harder you're making it on yourself when you just skip workouts. Like, you don't have to work out every single day. You don't even have to work out 6 days a week. But if you're not consistently training your body in a way that it can adapt to, you're literally making it harder on yourself. If you're signed up for Farrell's and we do 6 workouts a week, and it's 3 kickboxing, 3 strength training, it's very structured, alternating days, and you just skip 2 Tuesdays, that third Tuesday is going to be like starting over.
Yep. And we always tell people, if you're going to miss a class, miss a kickboxing day.
Yeah.
But even though
go on a walk instead.
That's the fun day.
Yeah, that's the fun day for everybody.
Sometimes people don't listen to us.
No, yeah. If only people would just listen.
Yeah, then everything would be much better.
But that's where that discipline is so important, because I cannot stress enough how much harder it is to be a part-time gym goer, whatever that looks like to you, versus a full-time gym goer. And that could even just be working out 3 days a week, maybe having 2 strength training workouts and 1 cardio workout a week. Our bodies adapt to that stress. But when you take that stress away, the adaptation stops, and it just makes it that much harder. So it's just like that law of motion or whatever, like some things in motion stay in motion. That's exactly how exercise is. And if you're constantly stopping and stopping and stopping, it's never going to get easier. You're always going to get stuck in that hard part of change.
Mm-hmm.
So I promise it's easier to be consistent than it is to be inconsistent.
So again, last week was all about goals, visualizing what we want to be.
We didn't really talk much about leaning in on support.
Well, we're running out of time.
I don't like podcasts.
I want to get to your quote that you wanted to go over.
I would rather talk about leaning into support.
Oh, okay. Well, let's lean into support. I'm leaning into you right now.
I am not a fan of podcasts.
You changed directions
I
for
did.
5 minutes, talked about something else.
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah, no, that's just usually in the first segment when we talk about sports.
I did want to talk about that, though, because it's important for people just starting. Like, if you want to quit a workout, or you want to skip a workout, it's just going to make the next one that much harder. I promise. Like, you're making it 50% more difficult than it needs to be than if you just showed up and did 10% effort versus 0% effort. You're still making progress. But the importance of leaning into support, because that's why group fitness exists. That's why running groups exist. That's why there are just endless Facebook support groups that you can join, or Reddit threads of like trying to keep you motivated and stuff. So, but it is important that if you're looking for a workout buddy or someone to support you in this process, that you pick the right person. Like, don't think about the strongest person that you know and try to have no.
Well, you don't like that.
You would be a terrible training buddy. We can talk about how we went out to dinner last night, and while we're eating dinner, you're like, we should definitely go on a walk when we get home. We're going to go to Holmes Lake. We're going to go on a walk. And I'm like, okay. And then throughout the dinner, you're like, well, I kind of want to take the dog. I'm like, well, then she needs to go on a shorter walk. Okay, we'll just go in our neighborhood. By the time we got home, what did that walk turn into?
Turned into nothing.
That makes you a terrible workout partner.
Right? But I'm a great gym owner.
I didn't say those are two very different things. So don't pick the Jeff that you know you can easily sway. You're so easily swayed. Like, you don't even know the times that I've swayed you into making a decision that you didn't know was actually my decision.
You're so sneaky.
Right. So that makes you a terrible workout buddy, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't be that person that you're like, that can't give good advice, because you know what to do. You just aren't always the best at staying disciplined at executing it by yourself. So find someone, like a group of people that are actually helping you motivate each other, not the group that you're constantly making excuses and everyone in the group is making excuses and everyone else in the group is letting you get away with it. That's all I'm saying. Like, make sure you find a like-minded person in your goals, or someone who's already met the goal. And like when you did that full marathon that one time with Dennis Lyman, you did a full marathon with someone who's been very successful in completing Ironman triathlons.
Mm-hmm.
He kept you on track the whole race. Like, okay, you are going to take a drink of water now. You're going to do your salt tabs now. Like, stop swinging your arms around. Stop air guitaring. You're wasting energy.
Yep.
Like, he was the perfect one versus someone who has, not been successful in training for marathons. Probably not the best person to run a marathon with, because then we've both done this. Like, you get one person that's just like, oh, I want to walk. And you're like, okay, let's walk.
Let's walk.
And then you're both tired and you're like, let's run at the next fire hydrant. Fire hydrant gets there. Oh, let's go 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. Find the right support group of like-minded individuals that want to reach their goals.
So you're saying just don't rely on me solely.
Just you need to know who to rely on for what.
Okay.
Like I could have kept you consistent. Like you said, the thing is with the conversation.
See,
I know.
You caved in 2 seconds.
That's because I didn't. It was fine with me like, either way.
No, we're going. We're all right, fine.
If it was my idea, I would have stuck with it.
Okay.
It was your idea, so I'm like, okay, sure. And then you change the plan. That's fine too. Okay, we can. And then we get home, and you just immediately change into comfy home clothes.
Yep, I did.
I'm like, oh, I guess we're not going out for a walk.
No.
If it had been important to me, I could have stuck with it. But I was really like, okay, if you want to go on a walk, yeah, I'll go on a walk with you. But it wasn't my workout for the day. I'd already done my workout for the day. So that's why finding that support system is important. So what's the last part you wanted to talk about?
Well, I was to say,
you've literally just been waiting for me to stop talking.
Don't let Nicole's putting me down deter you from joining Farrell's.
No, that's why you're successful, because you say it yourself. That's rude, because you say it yourself. You just said it in a couple segments ago. You would never do it by yourself.
Yeah,
you
but
need
if
the group.
I needed somebody counting on me, I would be there for them.
I know, but you also are very easy to talk out of something.
All right.
That was rude.
Well,
talk about your last
ripping me apart here.
No, I wasn't. That was a perfect example.
I wouldn't choose a person like Jeff to be my workout buddy. That's what you said.
Well, I wouldn't.
Well, that's you.
We've talked about this so many times about how you're like the cheerleader. So like if I was like struggling with something, I could be like, I need a pep talk. You'd be great at that. But when it comes down to like training for a half marathon, there's never been a time where I didn't want to go for a run and you talked me into it.
Oh, there may have been a time.
I don't think there has been.
It's been so long since.
So sorry if that hurts your feelings, but it's
kinda.
Facts don't care about feelings.
Oh, they don't. Well, now we have 2 minutes left before we got to go to break. So where do you want to go next?
Go ahead.
All this time on me.
It was not even
It's
about you.
Oh turned into me.
Okay.
I don't know. You can just lead the next little.
Well,
couple
I'm
minutes.
sorry if that hurt your feelings. That was not my intention, but it is.
See, but
I don't know how
but
you
in
can
there.
argue with me, but I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Well, it's just kind of like you're just like, oh, don't pick Jeff. He's just not good. Basically, what you said.
When it comes to something like that.
Join the gym though, like that he's the owner of. He'll get you fired up.
Yeah, because class starts at 5:00 and you will
I'm
get
there.
going at 5:00. You don't call in sick. You don't say, "Oh, I'm not going in today." Like, no, you've never done that.
No, I've wanted to, but there's sometimes I don't want to go in there and work out, but I do it because it's my job.
Yeah.
And I have to.
Right.
All right. So before we go take our last break, I'm going to read a quote that Nicole wanted to get to an hour ago. Goals
13 minutes.
give you direction, but discipline is what gives you progress. So we're going to talk about that on our last segment. Anything else before we go to break here? We have 1 minute and 10 seconds.
See, we had plenty of time to talk about it.
We did. All right. Well, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. Finish things up on 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, Apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Fuhrer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Fuhrer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Bros Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We just got about 4 or 5 minutes to go left in this episode. What's week 3? Do you remember?
Integrity.
Okay, so integrity is going to be next week. Okay, so again, we've been doing a series. Week 1, goals. This week has been discipline. Next week is going to be integrity. But we're going to talk about something that most people try to avoid, and that's this is the last segment tying in with discipline, is willful suffering That's the choice to do something hard now on purpose. So like
we did a whole show
Yes.
on willful suffering.
Yes. So we're going to be
couple months ago.
We're going to be sore and tired on purpose to build a better us for the future.
It fits really good with integrity too. It really does. Discipline and integrity.
Yep.
But,
so we'll get into a little bit this more next week.
Yeah. Well, I talk about willful suffering a lot in class. And I've talked about it on the show multiple times too, where, when we do something difficult and I'll tell people like, well, if this is the worst part of your day, like it's a pretty good day and you chose to do it, like you chose to do something difficult. So everything else that you do is going to be easier throughout the day. I say this a lot when I work out, when I teach, because I feel like if you want to hear me talk bad about myself, Jeffrey, will balance out the last segment. There's sometimes where I can get myself into a rut where when I'm instructing, because, we count a lot of our reps, and there will be times where I will notice that I am skipping the last 2 reps of an exercise.
While you're teaching?
While I'm teaching.
You just don't do the last 2?
Because it's hard. It's hard and I still have to count. And like, maybe I'm just going to not do a rep. Nobody's going to really notice because they're all suffering too. And so, there's times that maybe I just get into a habit of not being disciplined about getting all the reps in. Like, yes, I do that sometimes. Does that mean that the whole workout was flushed down the toilet? No, but it also keeps you from getting that much stronger for the next workout. So a lot of times when I catch myself in that moment, but I still do it anyway, I will say in the microphone, like, I really wanted to skip that last rep, but I didn't. Like, I will say it in the microphone because, one, I'm proud of myself for doing it, even though there's versions of myself that would just say one and not do one. And most people wouldn't notice. Like, when you're teaching class, how often is everyone actually looking at you, especially like further in the session?
I don't know. I think people are looking at you.
Do you look around? Do you know? Because I look around when I'm instructing, and like, not that I'm like, oh, no one's looking, so I can skip a rep.
I
but
just kind of focus on who's in front of me.
Yeah. So I'm like constantly looking around. It's week 8 or we're in between sessions and we're doing a really hard glute set. Nobody is looking right at you. They know what's happening.
Because everybody's head's down.
Right. Yeah.
So nobody's looking at you on glutes.
It's really easy to skip. Like my right leg is my weak leg. It's usually the second side I do. And so, yeah, I might skip a couple reps just because it's getting hard and I just don't want to do it. And so then I will tell myself after I do it, like, I'm really proud of myself. And so I'll say, I really wanted to quit. And so hopefully people in the class are like, man, I really wanted to quit too. And I didn't either. So like, I would consider myself a good workout partner, but also, like you said, I'm definitely one that I will sacrifice myself maybe for other people. Like,
yeah, you put other people in front of yourself.
Right. Which can sometimes hamper my goals, but that's also something that's important to me. So willful suffering it's something that you need to know that you're doing in the moment to really appreciate it and to be proud of yourself. So if that's something that's like a mantra to yourself, or that's what gets you out of bed or gets you to the workout, gets you to the gym when you get done with your long day, like, okay, there's so much I did not have control over throughout my whole day. So we talk a lot about people who work out in the morning, but people who work out at night, totally different animal. And it's like, I didn't have control about so much over my day, but I can control getting myself to the gym and getting this workout in. I'm going to willfully put myself through a hard workout so I can be proud of what I did at the end of this 45 minutes. If you can have that thought process before, it's just going to make you that much stronger at the end.
All right, gang. Well, that wraps up week 2's your proving ground. Again, it's not about perfection. It's about choosing to lean in even when it's hard. Choose discipline now, and your future self, the one finishing week 10, will be glad you did. Thanks for joining us here. Hope you had a few laughs along the way. We'll be back next week with integrity and also a little recap of the road race. So we'll see you next week. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.